issues, serious issues as an artist?
First of all, I live in a country where these are like major issues, and I found out that my colleagues in the music industry don't really, if I should say, care about what's happening, in the sense that you find an artist living next door to a woman who's been abused, and he's still writing songs on let's go to the party and get drunk, and I'm saying you have a medium where people listen to you, you have millions of people following you on Twitter. Why can't you send that one message out, to say that, look at me, this is what is right.
Yes.
I'm telling you, this is what is right. So that because people are willing to dress in a certain way because they saw an artist dress in a certain way. I feel in the same light, if an artist said, do not beat your wife or your kid or rape a girl who does not agree to have sex with you, these people will still learn or want to do the same thing this guy is telling them not to do or to do, and that will go a long way, but they're not doing it. So I said to myself, I'm going to be that black sheep, if you may, who will talk about these other things that these guys have neglected, and that's how come I chose, I know a lot of people are doing other things with regards to trying to build society, but I chose to do abuse and child abuse, women abuse, and gender-based violence because I have a daughter, and the thought of her going through something like that was just too much for me to fathom, and I thought I should add my voice to avoid this from happening to my child or any other child, to say, going through that. So,
well, that's very outstanding of you. I mean, we're living in a very complex world.
Yes.
And like you pointed out, I mean, these are big issues, especially in South Africa. We had those 2 horrific incidents recently. Those 2 young girls that were raped and killed in Deep Sloot and just discarded in a toilet. And the infant, less than a month-old, she was raped as well by her uncle.
Yes.
I mean, what were some of the thoughts as an activist running through your mind when these 2 horrific incidents were reported?
What the first thing that came to my mind was, you're not doing enough. And it wasn't. I said that to myself, but then I also realized that it wasn't just about me, because trust me, I've written letters to some NGOs that say that this is what we're doing. We're fighting against abuse and rape, and then yet I send them letters to say, I'm willing to give my time. Okay, you guys have the platform, you guys have the resources. I want to give my time as a poet. Let's go to these places and educate these people. And you find they don't even reply to the messages. And these same people, I see them, I meet them.
That's actually quite shocking.
Yes, I don't want to mention names, but I go to shows. Okay, I do a lot of charity shows. I go to these shows.
And you're talking about influential people in society that can really make a difference.
Yes, I go to shows and I see them. And there was one time I was performing at the Joburg City Hall. Okay, I was performing to homeless kids, and abused kids. So there is this person who comes and says that we have a home for you people, and then if you need support, we'll give it to you. And this same person, I had sent so many emails to this person and she never replied.
Mention names.
That would be tough, but yes, at least you have an idea of what I'm trying to say. So I realized that in as much as I'm trying,
I think the point you're trying to say is that we have key people in society that can really make a difference. But it's really for show to say that we support certain campaigns, but when it really gets down to doing the work and getting their hands dirty, it doesn't get done.
They just like the publicity.
Air, basically.
Yes, they take like one child who's been abused and say, we're taking this child, we're taking care of this child. But what the public doesn't know is that there are millions of kids who are going through that. So to bring that one child on TV to say, this is what we've done for this kid, forgetting about the other 1,000, it doesn't really make sense to me, because I can only do so much, whereas if let's say an organization from the government department says, you know what, we're going to help you so that we can gather 2,000 people at the Joburg Park, so you can speak to them. It's something that can easily be achieved. Whereas if I had to do it myself on my social network pages, you find I only have 200 people coming to listen to me, and those 200 will not even pass the message on to their peers. But
at least you're making a difference in your unique way as an artist.
Yes, but
and there's that sense of responsibility coming through. Like you say, usually young people want to have fun, go out for parties, etc. How is your work being received when it comes to human rights issues? By the youth, especially.
Yes. I think the youth understand where I'm coming from, and recently I've had like 40 other poets, you know, who will come with me every time I have an event of this nature, you know, just to give their time and then also perform poems on the subject. And I realized that it's not that they didn't want to talk or they didn't want to help in the fight, but they didn't have the medium, you know, or the platform on which they could speak. So I think that youth is really keen on fighting this menace, and they just need that platform, you know. It's amazing, you know. I put one post to say that I have an event at a random place.
You know what they say, the pen is worthier than the sword.
Awesome. Thank you very much for making that point. It's very true. If only the leaders will see it that way and support the people who write and the people who speak and the people who are listened to, it's going to go a long way. It's going to a lot of revolutionary incidences that happen in the world happen through poets and writers.
And great writers.
You know, exactly. So I think if the government will focus on people like us, I mean, there's several. It doesn't have to be me. There's several other people who are trying to do this, but they don't have the medium. Thanks to me, thanks to my career or my experience, I've had to work with people like you. You know, so it's easy for me to get on TV and talk about these things.
Is there a society that, you know, we can actually hook up with in Johannesburg when it comes to listening to poetry that focuses on tough issues like human rights abuse and women and child abuse?
You know, I was having a conversation like this with a friend yesterday, and what I was telling him was, you know, in this industry there are two things. You either sell out or you stand for something. And most of the poets are selling out because they want to do shows. They want to be paid 50,000 rands for a show, and the shows that pay you 50,000 rands, they don't want you coming to talk to them about rape. They want you to come and talk about love and flowers and bliss, you know. So unfortunately, most of the young people that I know who are in this industry write poems, but the poems, the subject they write on has nothing to do with abuse, and it's sad, but you know, I also think they've not really come to that place where they see their craft or their arts as a way of serving humanity.